Welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Sean Anderson for Ponca City Public Schools. This is our weekly visit with the coaches of Pohai Athletics and head coach Scott Harmon of the Ponca City Wildcat football team. Our guest on this edition of Coach's Corner. And Coach, you took the team. They were taking a two-game winning streak over to Tulsa, Washington. Game didn't end the way we wanted, but tell me what your team learned from that experience.
Well, you could see kind of our game plan actually the next day when you saw Kansas and Oklahoma playing. They kind of slow the ball down, take the air out of it, and then that was our game plan. You know, it was 13-10 at the half. Felt real good going in there, and then their athletes. They've got two or three kids that are going to play on Saturdays. Kind of took over in the second half and made it real tough on us. So I was pretty pleased with our overall effort, but I wish it would have ended up just a hair closer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the Ponca City Wildcat football team having the last home game of the season this Friday night with Bixby coming to town. Bixby is known all over the United States, not just in our state, as a football powerhouse. How do you prepare your team for a game like this?
It'll be very similar. Booker T. Washington was a really good practice for us. We'll kind of slow it down, take the air out of it a little bit. They like to go extremely fast on offense, so we'll just do the exact opposite of that and try to slow things down and keep it within, fighting distance. To be honest with you, we've had them at halftime where we just hadn't been completely out of it the last two or three times we played. So they're having to go in and make adjustments at halftime, and that'll be kind of our game plan again this week. Go in and see if we can slow it down and utilize our offense and try to keep theirs on the sideline.
Yeah, a good crowd, always a plus for our athletes out there on the football field. So we're hoping you make it into Solon Stadium this Friday night for that game when Bixby comes to town. Let's talk about some of your athletes that have really stepped it up, not only in the games, but in practice. They're really giving it their all, and you can tell as a coach, you know when someone's giving it their all, right?
You bet. We've talked about finishing strong. You know, we're out of the playoff race right now. We've got two games left. We want to honor kind of our 27 seniors this week. It's their last home game at Solon Stadium, so we're going to go out. We've prepared well. We're going to continue to prepare well, and then we'll go out and give it a really good shot Friday night. These kids know what they're fixing to run into, so you shoot them straight, they'll likely take it a lot better than trying to sugarcoat everything and tell them something that's not really actually going to happen.
Right, right. Coach, let's talk about academics. You know, every week you get that eligibility report, you go through there. Luckily, you've got a lot of good kids that are taking care of business in the classroom. Tell me a little bit about that. How much do you really stress the importance of what they do in the classroom?
Well, first of all, it's just a requirement, so we stress it on a weekly basis. You know, you got to take care of your business in the classroom. We'll remind that on a daily basis. We meet in the morning and watch film. And during first hour and then seventh hour we'll practice, and that's usually the last thing I tell them before they leave every day is, hey, handle your business, take care of your homework, so that we're getting a little bit thin with some injuries here late in the year, which usually it happens. Every live body that we can use during practice to prepare well and use during on Friday nights is extremely important to us.
Yeah, Bixby coming to town Friday night, Solon Stadium. We want to see you there as the Wildcats go to their second to last game of the season. There will be some changes next season as far as where the Wildcats will be playing. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yes, in 6A2, there's basically 16 teams, and they're divided into two districts. There's the East District and a West District, with Bixby moving up to 6A1 and some Dale City schools moving down to 5A. It's really kind of shaking the landscape of 6A2 up quite a bit. So the next 2 years, starting next year, we will be on the west side. Both us and Choctaw will go west, and then some other teams that are coming up from 5A will be on the east side. I believe Tahlequah's one, and maybe Claremore might be the other one. But there is a little bit of mix up there, and we're going to be playing some more teams that are in and around the city area and not the Tulsa area.
Okay, well, there you go. Those are changes upcoming for our Ponca City Wildcat football team. And just on a personal note, you know, Coach Harmon played at Oklahoma State University, and how absolutely incredibly heartbreaking 10 years after that big loss in 2011 to go back to Iowa State and have the same kind of outcome.
It was disheartening. The guy felt bad for the kicker. He kind of missed a couple of field goals there that
Yeah.
could have got him over the hook. So it is what it is. They weren't favored in there, so it's kind of hard to
Right.
be eighth in the nation and not favored on the roads. That's kind of
Yeah.
the story of a OSU Cowboys football life. So I'm kind of accustomed to it, and me and Nordy kind of we really look at that and watch those on the sidelines, and we were both worried about that. It's kind of a trap game.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Coach Harmon, thank you for being on the show.
I appreciate it.
That's going to do it for this edition of Coach's Corner, and we hope to see you again. Solon Stadium, the last home football game of the year. It's this Friday night. We'll see you there. That is going to do it for this edition of Coach's Corner. Until next time, thanks for watching. And Wildcats, remember, hold that line.